How's it going? My name's Josh, and today we're actually going to be making mushroom and parmesan ravioli with a burnt butter and sage sauce. Now this is actually a part 2 video, so if you haven't seen the other one, jump back, the link will be down below, and you can jump back to the other video on how to make some fresh pasta, because that will actually be one of the key ingredients for this recipe. So for your filling, you want 2 shallots or 1 big onion. Normally people would go with 2 garlic cloves, but I like garlic, so I'm going to go with about 4. You're going to need some ricotta, a couple of sprigs of thyme, some nice parmesan, and then obviously some mushrooms. And then for the sauce, you're going to need some butter and some sage. Now it's completely optional, but you can add walnuts to this as well, which I will be doing, but it's not needed. So the first thing you want to do is get everything chopped up. It doesn't really matter how you cut it, because it's all just going to be cooked down and eventually put into a blender and blended up. So you just want to, cut everything down into smaller pieces just so they cook a bit easier. Like I said with the garlic, you can use as much garlic as you like. I'm using, I think that was 4 or 5, just because I like garlic. Now I got shallots just because I think they taste a little bit better. You don't have to use them, you can use just like 1 big onion, but I reckon the flavour of these is, slightly better than onion. Jesus, these little fuckers are strong. Alright, now with your mushrooms, it doesn't really matter what mushrooms you use. I was going to get some better mushrooms, maybe some shiitakes, mix it up a bit, maybe some oyster mushrooms, but it was just before payday, so I didn't have enough of that. So we're just using 500 grams of normal white mushrooms. So you don't even really need to cut these up that much. You just want to be able to get them cooked down nice and quick. So once everything's cut up, you should have some roughly cut up mushrooms, your garlic, and shallots. These are still effective me. Alright, so once you've got all these, what you want to do is get a pan. So you want to check the stove on. With medium. Just get a pan. So in that pan, you just want to put a little bit of olive oil. And what I'm going to do just to give the mushrooms a bit more flavour, I'm going to put in just a little bit of butter, just let that melt. Alright, so once the butter started melting, what we're going to do is just chuck in the shallots. And then to those you want to add your garlic. So once the shallots are sauteed and a bit translucent, what you want to do is just dump your mushrooms in. And now what we want to do is just cook these down until they kind of halve in size, just so they shrink a bit. So once the mushrooms look like they're starting to cook down, what you want to do is get the leaves off a couple of thyme leaves. You just want to put that in with the mushrooms. You can use dried thyme. I just happen to have the twigs. I'll probably use about 2 of these. If you're actually using the dried stuff, maybe use about a tablespoon. And then to that you want to season it pretty well as well, so a good pinch of salt and a good cracked pepper. Okay, so once your mushroom mixture is kind of like halved in the size, all the mushrooms have gotten smaller and it's all pretty much cooked through, what you want to do is just turn off the heat, remove it from that. What we're going to do is chuck it in a bowl and then just put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes to cool. So once you've let your mixture cool, it's going to look pretty shitty, just like Great, yeah. What you want to do is put it in, it's fine though. What you want to do is put it in a blender or a food processor. I only have a blender, don't have a food processor, so that's what we're going with. To that, you want to add about 1 cup of Parmesan. You can add more if you want, or less. And then you also want to get some ricotta, maybe a good tablespoon or so. Just dump that in there. So with a blender, you might have to stop and move it around a bit because there's not much liquid in there, but you do want to get it all broken up. By the end of it, you kind of just want it to look a bit like pate, so kind of like smooth, but still a little bit chunky. So once that's all blended, give it a taste and just check if it needs any seasoning. If it needs any salt or any pepper, chuck it in, but that's pretty good the way it is. So now you've got your mushroom mixture that, like I said, should look a bit like pate. So it should be smooth, but, you know, also have a bit of consistency to it. So what we're going to do with that is put that aside. So what we want to do now is get our pasta sheets. Like I said, if you haven't watched the video before this one, there will be a link in the description to go back to that one and see how to make the pasta. Right, so what you want to do is get one of your pasta sheets. Just make it look neat. And what you want to do is just get some of your mixture. So you probably want about a teaspoon in each ravioli, or maybe half. So you just put a little bit there. So that would count as. Oh. And then you obviously want to leave a space, and then you can move over and go another. Now you don't want to overfill them, otherwise they'll be hard to close up. So if you need to, take some out, put some in, do what you got to do. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of water around the outsides, just so that it seals a bit better. Alright, so now you want to fold this over and get as much air out as you can. And you also want to push down the seal. And then with your pizza cutter, you can just kind of knead that up a bit. If you have a ravioli crimper, it is obviously going to look nicer, but then you've got your ravioli. So just repeat that with the rest of the mixture and your pasta sheets, and then we'll move on to the sauce. So once you've got all your raviolis made, obviously there's going to be some mixture left over depending on how much pasta you have. Good thing is though, you can put it in the freezer and just whip up some pasta and chuck it in when you need it. So we're going to put a pot of water on to start boiling for the pasta. Make sure you salt the water pretty good. If you want the pasta to taste good, you want the water to taste good. So now while that comes to the boil, what we'll do is we'll start on the sauce. So to the pan, you want to add about 250 grams of butter. Depending on how much pasta you have, you can add more. You just want to let that melt down. So we just want to keep the butter on the heat. We want it to get to a nice kind of golden brown colour. That'll give it a bit of a nutty flavour, which hence the brown butter. In a moment we'll add a bit of sage. Alright, so the colour's starting to change a little bit now. So what we'll do is we'll chuck in our sage leaves. And they'll actually fry in there and go crispy and actually be pretty flavourful with the pasta. Now you can use as little or as much sage as you like. I'm just a big fan of sage, so I'm using a fair bit of it. Alright, so under the bubbles, the butter has taken a brown kind of colour. So we're going to turn that down and let that cool. And what we're going to do is our pasta water is pretty hot now, so we're going to add our ravioli into that. Now with fresh pasta, you don't want to completely boil the water, but you do want it hot, and it does cook quickly. You don't want it in there for longer than 5 minutes. So we'll just drop these in one at a time. Alright, so we're going to leave the ravioli to cook for about 5 minutes. Like I said, we don't want it to completely boil, but we do want it to be hot, and when they all start floating, then they're all done. Now back to the sauce. As you can see, it is a nice dark nutty brown now, and we do have those crispy sage leaves in there as well. Alright, so once your pasta's floating, that pretty much means it's done. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat up a little bit on this butter, and we're just going to move the pasta over into the butter. Right, now what you want to do is just gently mix this together. You don't want any of the pasta to fall apart, but you do want the butter to kind of coat all the pieces of the pasta. Alright, so you just want to grab a serving bowl. Use a slotted spoon because you don't want to get too much butter into that bowl, otherwise it'll just be like soup. And like I said, it is optional, but I did add a few crushed walnuts into this dish. Alright, so that's how you make mushroom parmesan filled ravioli with burnt butter and sage sauce. Now this was a bit more of an intricate one than my other ones. Realistically, I want to know what you prefer. If you prefer things like this, I don't mind making them. They just take a bit longer and it makes a bit of a fucking mess. But they are still fun. But if you prefer the easy things, I can always do that too. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, let me know. And maybe subscribe. That'd be good. Thanks for watching. Well, there's no Shani today because she's asleep, so she ain't coming. Pretty fucking good. Try it.